King.
Oh, good morning as we're live on this Saturday morning. And there's breaking news. There's breaking news. It happens every show, every network newscast, every local newscast. You started off with breaking news. I don't know what's breaking. Oh, I do know what's breaking. The weather, but we've known about it for days. Get ready for the weather. But there's so much to talk about. So even though it's cold, just get ready and buckle up because there's a lot of things to talk about. And there's a lot of things from you people, you guys and ladies and everybody to talk about because this is not a good time right now in Philadelphia. It's not. Flyers won last night, be Friday night as we speak. That's nice. Sixers won their last game. Broken clocks right twice a day. But there are so many other things that we have to deal with. And I really want your opinion today. But the first thing I want to tell you, it is so important to tell you that the presenting partner and sponsor of this fine program, as you're riding with the king on the Howard Eskin Show, is Stillwell Financial Advisors. So good at what Jeff Stillwell does. So good. I think Jeff got out of Dodge a little bit because of the weather. A lot of people are bailing out before their planes are canceled. But nonetheless, he can still help you wherever he is with your wealth and your future with your wealth. He knows his stuff. Great guy, knowledgeable guy. Give him a call, 732 343 0813. That's 732 343 0813. And I know he can help you. All right. Let's deal with a lot of things. We'll have to deal with the weather in 2 days, but I'm fascinated, still fascinated by all the people that rush to the supermarket. You might think they're going to be locked in their homes for 2 weeks. A lot of the supermarket shelves are empty. Milk, butter, bread, and eggs. You got to get it all. You got to get the eggs. You got to get the bread. Uh, they're just going to have all kinds of egg sandwiches over the next couple of days. Hey, listen, they'll clean it up within a day and a half. So just relax. But there are real issues, and I've got a comment that I will let you know about from a sports person. It may be the most asinine, stupid, ridiculous comment that I have seen by somebody that has intelligence about sports, and this is about baseball. Uh, I will play that. It is truly asinine. Truly asinine. Stupid, foolish. Well, we'll get to that. But the Eagles are a topic that I know we should deal with because they still haven't found, not that it's not a rush. And I'll say this in possible defense of the Eagles. There are people out there, or people, coaches, that are waiting to see if they get a head coaching job. Because I think there's still I don't know if there's 5 jobs open, still 4 jobs open. So they're waiting for that. But I don't think that coaches are jumping in to be the offensive coordinator of the Eagles, only because it's just, let's just break this down. What upside is there to the Eagles? And the Eagles will tell people that 2 of their offensive coordinators have got head coaching jobs. That's when things were better. That's when the offensive line was terrific, which made the running game really good. And one of those coaches got it without Saquon Barkley because the offensive line was so good. Hey, Swift was a pretty good running back, and he was a good running back this year for Chicago. So The offensive line isn't as good, which means the running game isn't as good, which means the quarterback won't be as good. The Eagles have already gotten to the Super Bowl. So when an offensive coordinator comes in, what can he do better than has already been done? It can be better than last year, but the players have to be better. And I don't know if those things I've mentioned are better. And here's another thing. Whether people in Philadelphia want to believe it, in the Philadelphia area want to believe it or not, coaches look at the fan base, and the fan base is brutal, absolutely brutal when things don't go right. So who do they blame? They don't blame the players that much. They blame the coaches. Even though A.J. Brown, and he's a great wide receiver, has created some issues, there's not that much. The anger went to the coaches, whether it was the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, which you were wrong about that. And really, he there were ways that it would have been better, and it wasn't his fault. You blame the head coach, Nick Sirianni. Now you want to get rid of him too. The fan base does not make it really a great thing for a coach that wants to come here. And that is a problem. That's one of the problems. We'll talk about the Phillies. We'll get into that today too. They're done. I don't think there's anything else either they can or they will do this offseason. And the Mets ran out and made 4 deals this season. A couple of them really important deals for the Mets. A couple of them, actually, I think 3 of them. You can count at least 3 of them. But hey, you know what? They didn't lock themselves in to long-term contracts that aren't that great. And the comment that I think is the most asinine that I've seen and heard in the last at least 10 years is a baseball comment. But before we do that, I think, Joe, we have somebody that wants to join the show before we get to Marc Lawrence, who will be on the show today. Take a look at the weekend football. George is there. All right, George. I guess you're happy about the Philadelphia.
Man, you make this depressing, man. Why don't you do on Saturdays go back to Jim O'Brien with the pointer? You may do weather better than what I'm hearing. You know, they covered all their tracks, 4 to 20 inches, rain, sleet, freezing rain, windy. What are we missing here? I mean, Jesus Christmas. And
whether people think they're geniuses and rocket scientists, just tell me what's going to happen. Don't embellish it. See, here's what local television stations do. And the network, there's not enough news that's new news. So the network, their breaking news for the last 3 days has been weather. All right, but that's across the country. But locally, they want people to watch their news because people more and more are not watching local newscasts. Less and less people are watching. So if they scare the living daylights out of you, they think, well, you're going to watch it to get the weather updates. You know where I get my weather updates? How about my phone? Yeah, how about my phone? And they're updated every couple of minutes. Do I need television to give me the weather? No, I get the truth and nothing but the truth on the phone because the phone's not going to lie to me. Yet the local stations, I'm not saying they lie, they embellish.
Look at the grocery stores, Howard, and the hardware stores and Home Depots. Oh my God, it's like
they're in business. They're in business with the grocery stores. Yeah, it's just. I guess they send over the milk, bread, and eggs over to the television stations to make sure they're okay.
Plenty of French toast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, plenty of French toast is correct.
Sports. Oh, can we get the depression of Philly sports right now? God, you make it depressed. And Phillies.
All right,
the Mets go out and they get guys, right? And even though people are saying they're renting them, they got better. And I said it to you before.
I don't care that they're renting them. They're going to get better, and it may not be a rental. As long as they're playing well, they're going to want to keep those players. That's the way the game is. I think all those big contracts that were signed so far this offseason, Tucker, Bo Bichette, and I think there was one other one that was signed. They all have opt-outs. So what? That's just the way it's going to be.
Right.
And they don't give you this ridiculous 8-year contract, which the Phillies offered Bo Bichette, because it's outdated and the Phillies don't have opt-outs. Oh, no. And it's outdated a year into the contract. So because they're not reading the market well enough. And that is a problem. That's really a problem. Did they really think they were going to get Bo Bichette, offered him about $25 million a year? I mean, he was going to get over 30 easily with somebody, and he got 42.
They're
It's
going to finish
unbelievable.
third, Howard. That's the reality that they're bringing back the band.
So you have some real concerns there, right?
Oh, Howard, it's obvious. It's you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. They're bringing back the band, and other teams in the division are getting better. Atlanta's not going to be bad like they were last year. I think they're going to win the division. The Mets are going to be good, and the Phillies are going to be third.
Yep, that's exactly right. The Phillies might. There's probably. I'll look at it this way and tell me if you think I'm wrong. The Phillies have a better chance of finishing third than finishing first.
You're right. I'm with you.
Think about that. That's sad, isn't it?
It's depressing. I mean, we don't talk about the Sixers. We don't want to talk about them. I mean, like you said, a bad clock's right once in a while. I mean, you got the Flyers and the Eagles. I mean, it's just wow.
Okay, let's jump to the Eagles, because the Eagles still don't have an offensive coordinator. I don't know if that's a big deal, because players are more important than the offensive coordinator. However, there is, I think, an issue there with getting somebody. Are you at all concerned in that regard?
Yeah, we get a bad rap. Yeah, I am concerned. I mean, look at the Giants right now. I listen to New York a little bit because I'm in that territory. They're doing cartwheels right now. They are doing absolute cartwheels, and they're going to be better. They're going to be better, and we need an offensive coordinator. I mean,
well, I would say they need an offensive coordinator, but they got the offensive line, and I don't know what you can do. It is what Lane Johnson will be back. Cam Jerkins has got to get healthy. Lane Johnson's got to get healthy. They got to tweak it a little bit. Landon Dickerson is a tough son of a gun. However, he's always playing banged up. Yep.
Question to you, Howard. Do you really think that the offensive coordinator issue has to do with Jalen?
I think it has. I think that's one of the issues. The other issue is the fan base. They know what goes on here. They saw what happened to the offensive coordinator because they didn't like it. So people egg his house and his kids get brutalized in school. That's disgraceful. Disgraceful.
I agree. It's totally disgraceful.
Right. So that's an issue. You look at the team and you want to go to, if you're coming here to be an offensive coordinator, you're looking to become a head coach, obviously, at some point. All right. What is the upside? And are you putting yourself in a bad position? Because if things don't work out again the way people expect and people want them to, then is that offensive coordinator have a chance at getting a head coaching job? So that's where I think they're a little sensitive in the situation. So
it's that's a shame. You're an offensive coordinator. You come here to do a job, and then they come and egg your house and abuse your family. You know what? That's a great point. Yeah. Why would you want to come here?
You tell me. You tell me. So you're not happy. You're not happy with what's going on right now.
I'm not happy. I'm not. I mean, it's a depressing time right now to be a Philly sports fan. I mean, yeah, the Flyers went through a
It's not funny. It's actually not funny. So I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny.
But we're used to it, Howard. You know what I mean? We've had our championships, but we have our more downs than we do ups as Philly sports fans. We're used to that.
Yeah, yeah, but you shouldn't be used to that. I mean, the Phillies will tell you that everything's fine, and they're good.
They're not good. They're not good. I can't wait to hear the baseball comment. I'm looking forward to this. It'll make my day.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
I'm done with Dave Dombrowski too, Howard. I'm done.
You are?
Done.
Why are you done?
Yeah, he had his
You mean he
time,
hasn't done
he
it?
had his moment building teams. Okay, sometimes in sports, the game goes by you, and his wishy-washy comments the last week are just enough. I'm just over it. He is clueless. Just by the offering of
Clueless
contract,
is not a good thing.
he's clueless.
All right, George, you got to relax a little bit. You gotta
Have a good
relax.
one.
All right, you too. All right. Before we before we get to more on the show, I want to tell you about a really a new partner on the show. And Thomas Chevrolet is our newest partner, newest sponsor. I was over there again yesterday. People are always so nice. They're always so nice and nice. The vehicles, I'm driving an SUV, the Equinox. I really enjoy it. I'm really having a good time with the vehicle. You get into it and you say, all right, what am I going to notice about this car? And it's everything that's good that you want with a vehicle. It's important to understand that Thomas Chevrolet, is a family-owned business. I mean, the people are there. It's not absentee. It's not somebody that's not there. They are there and they connect. I saw some customers there yesterday looking at the Corvettes. The Corvettes, I always look at the Corvettes, but I'm good with the SUV. I'm okay. I may drive a Corvette for a little while. Can you see me in a Corvette? But 38 years in the business with great people, straight deals, no need to haggle or hassle over the price of a new Corvette. And you see up to $14,000 savings available, 0% uh, uh, financing for up to 60 months. It is available. It's just there's so many good things: the Corvette, the Equinox, the Silverado, the Traverse, or the Tahoe. And speaking of Corvettes, Thomas Chevrolet is a certified Corvette specialist dealer. Thomas Chevrolet also has a superior service department for all makes and models. Tops in the tri-state area, Thomas Chevrolet has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They're located 1263 Westchester Pike. I should tell you that in media. 1263 Westchester Pike. Really should stop by. Or you can give them a call if you want before you stop by. 610 566 8600. Or check them out on the internet, thomaschevy.com. All right. One of our other great sponsors. And I think, Joe, do we have a video to try to explain some things with Piazza Property Pros? Do you have that video? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at Piazza Property Pros. Oh, I thought you had another video because we have one of the people there kind of explaining all the good things they do. Uh, Piazza Property Pros, 25 years of experience. They can do the front, you can do the back. And here's the other thing you should think about now. If you want a pool, if you're thinking about building a pool and having Piazza Property Pros build that pool for you, you should start planning for it now because there are a lot of people that are thinking about it. And then there's a lot of people that said, I'm going to do it. They got in touch with Piazza Property Pros, 25 years of experience, which means good things, and they don't subcontract. All kinds of things, landscaping, but the pool, you got to start thinking and planning for it. Pool maintenance, yeah, all these things. They do all these things. Fencing, whatever you need around your house. There's so many things that Piazza Property Pros can do. 610 566 2608. 610 566 2608 to schedule a free consultation and check them out on the internet, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right, we do have some football this weekend, some football, and we got some basketball. But the football is the most important. Two games to get the two teams into the Super Bowl. And I don't know that anybody, if you put a prop bet and you said these four teams, I wonder what that number would have been. These four teams would be in the conference finals. They would probably be pretty good odds. All right, let's have Marc Lawrence, as he does on Saturdays, join the show. Marc, how are you today?
I'm absolutely terrific, Howard. How are you?
I'm great. Now, and it just came to my mind. If you said these four, what would be the odds in your projection if somebody had a prop bet and said the conference finalists would be Los Angeles, Seattle, New England, and Denver? Now you have to have all four for the prop bet. So, and two of them you might think about. You might think about the Rams and you might think about Denver. What do you think the odds would have been on a prop bet for those four teams?
At the beginning of the season, before the season started,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, I looked at that, and it's rather large. If you'd have had the wisdom to do just that and nail these four teams to make the championship game, the odds were 28-1 to do that, which is a really strong price. To obviously, to say the least, you're going to put up 100 to win 2,800. Uh, the Rams fit because they were of the four, they were favored to make the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
The other three were dogs to make the playoffs uh, for the price, okay, for everybody else. So you take
Right.
one favorite and three dogs, you put them all together, and you've got a big 28-1 price, isolating four exact teams is exactly what we've got this weekend.
It's just, yeah. I mean, who would have thought New England would have been there? What were the odds? Do you remember what the odds for New England would be to get to the just the conference championship? Uh,
I know they were just to make we had them in our magazine at just to make the playoffs, okay, and just to make the playoffs, they were like plus 320. What yes or no, and you would have got 320 back for your dollar. So to make the conference championship game, that would have been a big stretch. You probably would have at least doubled that, like 660 for just
mhm.
for New England to arrive here. And there's a lot of people like them because Mike Vrabel came along. But you have to remember they were just a 4-win team last year, so not everybody was going to be on their bandwagon to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's amazing that they're there, but things had to fall into place, and they had to get some good play. They got good play from the quarterback, but things fell into place for them. So that kind of, and the last place schedule kind of helps. But they figure last place schedules, they figure into the odds. I would think they figure into the odds, the last place
Well,
schedule.
they do, because they played arguably the softest schedule in the NFL. They took advantage of it to their credit.
Uh-huh.
A lot of teams don't do that, but they did. That's probably more their coach than anything else. And I think the continued development of Drake May, who came a long way, who will probably be the runner-up for the MVP this year.
Yeah, it really is amazing. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the games. They're both on Sunday. Let's take a look at the games. Who do you like?
Well, we'll start out first with the Denver New England game, the earlier kickoff of the two games. And what you have here is a rare, odd commodity, obviously, in a number one seed that's a home dog in the
Hmm.
championship game. You've never seen that before, the Denver Broncos. But the reason being, obviously, is Bo Nix is out and Jarrett Stidham is in their quarterback. The unique thing about Jarrett Stidham is number one, Sean Payton absolutely loves his quarterback. He went out and signed him immediately and re signed him because he knows he can fit and plug in place when he needs to be plugged in place. You take a look here also at what the odds in this game would have been had Bo Nix played, as opposed to what it is now with Jarrett Stidham. So now you've got a 4.5 point home underdog in Denver, who would have been a 2.5 point favorite with Bo Nix. So you're talking 7 points of a line swing in here. And I don't believe Bo Nix is a 7 point quarterback. I think it's an overreaction by the odds makers in the price of this football game. The other part of the equation here is Sean Payton himself as an underdog in the playoffs has been absolutely outstanding. You throw into the mix the fact that I mentioned before, a 4-win team makes the conference championship game. It's only happened one time before ever, Howard. And
It's
here's the unique thing.
yep.
The real unique thing about this game is Jarrett Stidham starting the quarterback, okay? There's only been 5 quarterbacks in NFL playoff history that have started a conference championship game that did not start a game at all during the regular season. Only
Hmm.
5 of them. And of them, 3 of the 5 won the game. They were all 3 at home. The last being Nick Foles from the Philadelphia Eagles. You remember that year, obviously, that they won the Super Bowl.
You know what? Let me just Doug Peterson, and if I can find that bite, I'll play it for you. It's on my Twitter. I posted it, but I had Doug Peterson on the other night. He had a similar situation, as you just mentioned, with Nick Foles, but he had 3 games before he got there. But what I asked him is, how do you convince your players that you're okay? And he said, it's not just one, basically, and he emphasized it, and he said it a little bit better than I'm going to say it. It's not just one player. They lost that year. Eagles lost 5 key players that year and still won the Super Bowl. I mean, they lost their left tackle. They had their left tackle was playing his first game at left tackle in the Super Bowl because they lost Jason Peters. So this guy was playing left tackle, his first game at left tackle in the Super Bowl. So it's not just one player, and I wanted to emphasize that. You know, he kind of touched on, don't think it's a miracle. We're a team. Basically, we're a team, and everybody is part of this.
Well, what you're talking about really pertains here to Stidham in particular, but it's rallying around the injured player. It's really what it comes to being, especially a quarterback. When the quarterback goes down, the team just rallies around the backup quarterback. And, you know, they want to show that, hey, we're the team. He wasn't the quarterback. And I think you're going to see a similar effort here in Denver. I think Denver's going to win this game and move on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think people are just, you know, the what do I say? The amateur bettors. And I guess 70% of the people are amateurs.
Joe Square, right.
Yeah, okay, Joe Square. They think, oh, they don't have their quarterback. I'm taking New England. That's not the way it works. Denver's playing at home. Denver's got a really good defense. Sean Payton is a terrific coach, and he's not going to put, although Doug Peterson had to just unload everything with Nick Foles when that happened, because New England scored. The defense for the Eagles did not have a good day. I mean, they forced some turnovers, but when they were rated, I remember talking to one of the coaches afterwards. They had such a horrible grade. They graded that defense after the Super Bowl when they got everything settled. But so he had to unload. But Sean Payton is not going to allow Stidham to be put in bad situations and bad spots. He's just too smart to be able to do that. But I agree with you. So you like Denver in the game.
I like Denver.
To win the game.
They out-yarded everybody at home this year. Nobody come in there and push them around on their own playing field here. And again, rally around that quarterback, I think gets Denver to the Super Bowl.
All right. So now, if you look at that, what is the money line? What is the money line that on this game? And
Well,
you would take a money line, right?
Yeah, you can play them plus 320, okay, which is a real square price. But I think we can take it one leg further, and we'll do that when we talk about the next game, and I'll tell you what, it will get a better price doing just that. But one thought to go before we go there is, if you like Denver to win the Super Bowl and you wanted to bet them now before the price became much, much shorter, you can do that, but you would be a better position to bet Jarrett Stidham to win the MVP as opposed to Denver winning the Super Bowl, because if Denver does indeed make it to the Super Bowl and wins, almost always the MVP is the quarterback. And you get a big price to Jarrett Stidham. I believe it's like 14-1 right now. And Denver, I believe, is like 10 or 8-1. So you're getting a better price to bet Stidham to win the MVP than you would the Denver Broncos.
All right. Here, I got the audio of Doug Peterson. Listen to this. And let me just start this. I'm going to play it again.
I believe it's like 14-1 right now.
Hold on for a second. I'm trying to do this off my phone, which is not the easiest thing, because it should be easy, but it's not easy. But I'm going to. All right, here we go. Let's try this again.
Where it goes. You know, we lost Jordan Hicks, Carson Wentz.
Here we go.
I walked into that team meeting room and I said this. I said, one man can make a difference on this football team. I said, but the team is going to make a miracle. And if you remember back then too, we lost Jason Peters, we lost Darren Sproles, we lost Chris Maragos, we lost Jordan Hicks, Carson Wentz, we lost 5, starters amongst others. We started a rookie left tackle in the Super Bowl, and in Holly Pulivati Vaitai, it's not about one person. And I know Coach Payton is saying the same thing, guys. It's not about Bo Nix. This team has gotten us to where we are today to play in this AFC Championship game. So we need to go out and play as a team. We need to go out and have, Jarrett Stidham's back. We got to go out and support him. He has to play well, but he also understands that he's got to put it into his playmakers' hands. We got to play great defense and give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. So for me, it was about that. It was about, one man. Carson Wentz is one man. Jason Peters was one man. But I said, Fletcher, you're part of this team. Malcolm Jenkins, you're part of this team. Jason Kelsey, you're part of this team. So our team is going to make this miracle happen. And that's really what the guys bought into. And that's why we didn't bat an eye, obviously. And again, the leadership rose up that year and in the face of adversity.
So, you get the gist of it. This is where the coach is really important, to convince the players to buy into his belief. They know they lost a really good quarterback in Denver, but you got to buy into the fact that football, probably more than any other sport, is a team sport.
Absolutely. Kudos to Doug Peterson. That's one of the reasons he was such a good head coach as he was, because he was able to see that and pass it along to the team. The team buying that is exactly what a coach wants to do. And a tip of the hat to him. That was a wise observation on his part. He got the team to rally around the injuries. And what did they do? They won the Super Bowl.
All right. So now let's look at the other game. Los Angeles and Seattle.
Well, the strange thing here is, the Rams are visiting Seattle because the Rams lost to Seattle 2 weeks ago, or just before the playoffs 3 weeks ago. They got beat in overtime. Had the Rams won the game, they'd have been the number 1 seed, and Seattle will be in Los Angeles this weekend.
And they got screwed on that call, on that 2-point conversion.
Yes.
That was a bad call, because you're not supposed to be able to advance the ball on a fumble, and that was technically a fumble. And I don't know how they missed that. But during the game, you can't, once you, I think, get inside the 20 or inside a certain time, you can't advance the ball. That ball was advanced from where the line of scrimmage was. So not only did they lose on a 2-point conversion, they lost on a bad call.
Well, what I'm gonna do here in this football game is handicap it as it is, as opposed to what should have been. But
Right,
what
I
it
get
is,
it.
Seattle is at home and they're on this red hot run. Give them their due. The Rams sort of tailed off a little bit in the second half of the season, because at a point I believe they were the team to beat in the National Football League to win the Super Bowl, and I still believe that they're the team to beat, and I believe they're going to make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. You've got in the Rams much the better coach in Sean McVay than Mike Macdonald, and that's that's all due respect to Mike Macdonald, but he's done almost all of his damage on the road, where he's been absolutely spectacular in football games on the road. He's won 15 of 17 games on the road. He's only won 10 of 18 at home. You've got Sean McVay, who's been there and done that. On the other side of the coin, you've got much the better quarterback, I feel, in Matthew Stafford, who's going to win the MVP this year, as opposed to Sam Darnold, who tends to not show up in games he's expected to show up in. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that happen on Sunday as well. And you got this recent revenge here for this nasty revenge situation that we alluded to. Now there's 3 in a row on the road for the Rams, which is really a difficult task. But when you get to this stage of the playoffs, the championship game, I don't think the players give a hoot about informing them that they're on the road for 3 straight games in a row. They're focused for this football game, and it's a division opponent just the same. So what I was getting to earlier is if you like the Rams to win this game as I do, and you like also Denver to win their game as I do, and you put these 2 teams into the Super Bowl, these 2 underdogs, you get 6-1 for your money to say the Super Bowl matchup will be the Rams and it'll be the Denver Broncos, which is exactly what I did. I'm
Yeah,
not
which
a parlay guy, but I think that's exactly what the Super Bowl matchup is going to be: the Rams and the Denver Broncos.
yeah. So if you take those two sides, you do the parlay. You got to hope that if you win, well, you got to win both of them to win the parlay. But
Yeah.
still, if you're going to take both those teams, you might as well put it in a parlay. I'm not a big parlay person either. You might as well put it in a parlay. All right. The total in the Rams game, I think, is a little high, 46.5, because Seattle's defense is so good. And I don't know that Seattle's going to offensively is going to generate a lot of points, although they did in the last game. When you look at what they scored the last game, it's probably unlikely that they'll be that good offensively in this game, the last game against the Rams. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I agree with that exactly. And the feeling here is that the deeper you go into the playoffs, the more defense asserts itself, and you're one step away from being it to the Super Bowl. And one of the reasons that got you here is your defense on both sides of the ball, both football teams here. And you look at when these two teams met here in Seattle in that wild overtime game. The total on that game was 41 and a half. You've
Really?
got a much bigger
Wow.
number here to get under the total, and I think there's value to the number in the game here as well. And I think there's a good underplay in this contest.
All right. So you kind of lean towards the under in that
Yeah.
game, right?
Yes.
The total in another game, I don't know that at 43 and a half, I don't know where I would go in that game. It's probably not as easy to look at it from different standpoints. The unders, didn't you tell me during the week that the unders in these playoff games or the totals tend to be unders in these games?
Absolutely. Like I say, the deeper you go, especially this deep into the conference championship games, the more they go to the under. You get to the conference championship games, they've been a solid 60% underplay just on the blind. Doesn't matter who the teams were. It's just
Mhm.
the fact that one of these two teams had their defense get them there. And you have to ask yourself this question: are both of these defenses likely to bust in this football game for this game to go over? And I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Now, there's obviously we have some basketball. Forget it. I don't even. If you like an NBA game, great. I think the NBA just flat out sucks. But do you have a couple of basketball games for the people?
Yeah, I'm going to look on the college hoops card today. I think
Yeah.
it's an attractive card, and you've got two teams, two double-digit underdogs that are winning teams that were bounced out of their conference tournament last year. So they're going to come with everything they've got in these games, and there's some history to back them up. The first is Villanova getting 10.5 at UConn in this basketball game, and Villanova's had this tendency to play well as an underdog against teams that have a better record than they do. The last 5 times they've done that, they've won the money all 5 times. I think Villanova takes down the money in this game against Utah. Plus 10.5 is a big number to lay into the Wildcats. The other
And
game's
who
going to be
else?
Auburn. They're taking 11.5 against Florida. And this is even juicier, Howard. Last year, Florida tripped them up in the SEC tournament. But in the regular season, before they met in that tournament, Florida beat them when they were the number one ranked team in all of college basketball. So now you've got a double revenge chip on your shoulder here for Auburn. And I got to grab them plus the 11.5 against Florida today.
All right. All right. That's two other college basketball games. So if people want to have some action, we're going to get snow tomorrow, so they'll have action tomorrow. It's just, I know you're in Florida, you won't have to deal with it, but we'll deal with it. Hey, listen.
You've got to get Piazza Properties to put a dome in your backyard over your pool, Howard, for that weather up there.
Okay, I'll mention that to him. All right. If people have interest in Mark's services, 800-321-7777 or on the internet, playbooksports.com. Mark, you have a great week. Enjoy your 70-degree weather down there in Florida.
I will do just that. Enjoy the games, Howard. Be well.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, he resides in Florida right now. I also want to tell people about our winner from the last show. The question was to win a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. The question was, the Philly special was a big play in the Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles, so no question about it. But what is the play that Doug Peterson remembers most as the most important in that game? and it was the 4th and 1, the pass to Zach Ertz. And Alan, I guess Vitae or Viti, whatever way it's pronounced, Alan. I apologize. I don't know the correct pronunciation, but congratulations on winning the Chickies and Pete's gift certificate and coming up with that answer among, I'm sure, a few people who are listening to the show. I'll have a question towards the end of the show to have you win something a little bit different and kind of cool. It's an Upper Deck limited edition card. It has 4 players on it, and it's autographed by Charles Barkley. So if you answer the question, you will win that. That was a limited edition. It was made back in 1991. I'll ask the question. You send your answer to the contact page, howardeskin.com, the contact page at howardeskin.com. By midnight Tuesday, January 27th, we'll announce it on the Wednesday show, January 28th at 7:30, live on X or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. I suggest you subscribe to YouTube. It makes it easy to find the shows, and also you're notified immediately when the show comes on live. Winner will be randomly chosen from all correct entries, and we'll have the question towards the end of the show. All right. I hesitate always to do this. Oh, before I do this, I just want to say hello to a lot of people. People are listening from all over the country. We have Stay in My Lane from Arizona again, Bear, Delaware, Todd, looks like Labor from Bear, Delaware. Somebody asked me whether I have salt. Well, if you have that much snow, the salt's not going to do any good. We have another listener from Alabama, Coleman. I don't know where Coleman, Alabama is, but that's Kevin from Coleman, Alabama. It's people from all over the country, which is, and then we have people from outside the country, which is kind of cool too. Silver Spring, Maryland, which is not that far away, but it's 2.5 hours away. So it's nice to have all these people joining the show from locally and from outside the area. So it's nice, and I see a lot of comments. I'll get to some of the other comments from some of these people too. All right. Again, as I said, I hesitate to do this, but Cowboy Jim is on the line. Oh, I always hesitate to do this because he says nothing of any intelligence.
Put my face on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Salt is always good to have. It's always good to have. It's just not good for the animals. Not good for my dog. That's all. But
Well, yeah, there is a mixture that's not salt that doesn't hurt the animals, because I had to use it.
Yeah,
too.
but some of the townships, they put that salt out on the roads.
Oh, on the roads, yeah, that's not good. Well, when you have that much snow, salt's not going to do any good.
Well, you put the salt down like I've done now. You put it down now, and then when it starts to snow, it's really kind of helping it melt away. So
no, not when it's 20 degrees.
Oh, please, you hire someone to do it. What do you know?
Yeah, well, okay.
Once again, let's bet the opposite of Marc Lawrence. He's talking about Denver.
All right, I'll tell you what. And how much do you owe me in bets? $200.
300. I owe 300.
300. Do you want to go double or nothing?
Double or nothing.
Okay.
No,
not that much confidence then, do you?
I'm going to give you your money soon. I'm going to give you your money, and then we'll work on other things later on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put it to charity anyway. So
well, I'm just saying. He's like, oh well, like Denver scores a lot of points at home. Well, that was with Bo Nix. Bo Nix scored a lot of points with them, and now you got a backup. And he's like, oh, I'm going with Denver.
Well, but here's the thing you have to understand about Denver, you dope. Here's what you have to understand. Denver scores points off of their defense because they give them short fields. Their defense I think their defense was ranked number 1 in the AFC. I think they were ranked number 1 in the AFC. Their defense scores points for them. So that's part of it.
I'm going with the Patriots.
No. Okay, you'll lose that too. You'll lose that.
I love when Philly sports fans are suffering. I love it. Welcome to my world. So I'd like to.
But you're an idiot. I called you a dope, an idiot, a jerk. You throw moron in there to hang with the Cowboys, especially when that owner / general manager, that's the worst thing he can have, says, I want to win as many Super Bowls as
That's right.
anybody. He's only 3 behind
That's
the
right.
tie. 3
Right.
behind the tie. And when's the last time he won a Super Bowl? 30 years ago?
He's going to find a
30.
way to live forever. He's got a lot of money. He'll find a way to live forever.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah,
And
well,
hey,
we'll
but
see.
thank you. He did a good job. He picked up Christian Parker, as our new defensive coordinator.
Okay. So,
I mean, look at the
so
job
now
he-
you're like a guy that came from the Eagles.
Yes, I love it. I love it. This guy
Okay.
did a great job in the secondary. He did a great job. And
Okay.
bring over as many Eagles as you want. Bring them all over to the Cowboys. I'll be very happy with
Such a
that.
moron. You
And-
are such a moron.
And how about Brian Daboll? Everyone's just like, oh, Brian Daboll. You guys trashed him the whole time he was in New York. Trashed him, and now you're like,
well,
oh,
the
bring him-
fans trash everybody that's from another team,
Well-
especially the Giants and the Cowboys.
No.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey,
I'm
the
all for-
Eagles fans better watch out for the Giants in the next couple of years,
well, I
because
know.
with that coach, they're going to be better, and that division's going to be better. Here's the thing: what are the odds that the Eagles win the division next year?
No.
When Washington should be better if Daniels is healthy.
Eh,
The Giants will be better.
right. And the Cowboys will be better with a better defense.
Well, Cowboys might be in last place.
No. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm rooting for Jim Bob Cooter, because a Cooter Hurts combination, they're going to have to go see a doctor after a while with that. So good luck with the Cooter Hurts.
Well, I don't know who their offensive coordinator is going to be. I would say, who do you think it's going to be? There's some good people out there, and they're waiting to see if they get head coaching jobs. But also, I don't know. Again, I don't know that the Eagles, and with all the other head coaches that were named, they haven't named a lot of the coordinators yet.
They don't want to
So-
come to Philadelphia. They don't want to come to
the
Philly.
The fans have made this
Yeah, no
a
kidding.
part of the issue
Yeah.
for a coach to come to Philadelphia.
Yeah, great
Yes.
job. Great job harassing the guy's kids at school. Great job with that one. Yeah, idiots.
Well, wait a minute. You're an idiot, but they're worse than an idiot.
And as for baseball, hey, let's talk about baseball. So you got these. Now you're going to have a few mega teams, and then you're going to have a lot of AAA teams and AA teams. And the Phillies are part of the problem, just like the Dodgers and the Mets. This is why they need to go on strike. And who cares? I'm done with baseball. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I'm done with the NBA. I'm not done with baseball yet. 162 games is too many. When now you got to wait, and all it matters are the playoffs. That's all that matters. At least football, and they're going to have 18 games, which I think is a mistake. And every week there's going to be an international game. I think somebody asked me, do you think the Eagles are going to play overseas next season? I think they're going to play in Australia.
That's what I've been hearing. I haven't.
Well, because they have Jordan Mailata, who they can promote the game, because he obviously played rugby over there. They're going to play somewhere. That's a new location for the NFL, and to have the Eagles go there. Well, it's a bad idea to have teams go overseas, but from their standpoint, the NFL, to have the Eagles go there would be a good way to promote the game.
Okay, you know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
That a 15 or 16-hour flight somewhere with these players, you can't. And if you think
I'm not going to say anything.
you think that these guys, after playing a game, are going to get on a 15-hour flight to come home with injuries, concussions, everything like that? It's not healthy. It's not a good idea.
When Australia comes, you're with the wind from Australia.
Doesn't
right?
matter.
You pick up an hour and a half.
Okay, so they save an hour coming back, but coming back from Sao Paulo was horrible.
Brutal. Yeah, no,
It was brutal, and you're going to add on 6 or 7 more hours. A lie flat seat is not going to help them. It's not.
Okay. And then they're going to have an 18-game season, and everybody's going to be playing overseas. It's really a joke. All right. So the Cowboys will be last. Who's going to finish first in the NFC East?
It's not going to be the Eagles. It is not going to be.
You know what? I would not bet the Eagles to win the division, only because it hadn't happened for like 21 years to win it back to back. Now they won it 2 years in a row.
Well, and congratulations, you made it. You made it the one more week than the Cowboys. You were one and done. Okay, one and
All
done.
right, you get out of here. Get out.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Cooter Hurts. Good luck with
Okay.
that.
All right.
Bye.
Stay out of the snow, will you, Nitwit? Again, all your flights will be canceled anyway. What's the difference?
Goodbye, handsome.
All right, see ya. You are correct. All right. Yeah, that's the other thing. It works for the airlines. They're not going to. How many flights are canceled? I mean, they're already canceling flights. It's really kind of sad. I see, it's great. I always love to see the comments from people. uh, well, they're not getting rid of Stout. Stoutland is a great coach. No, I know. Kingsbury. Actually, Kingsbury wants his own offensive line coach. I see somebody said, and they're not getting rid of Stout. That is correct. It's just the division is not a lock. I see. What's it? Stanky Bruff. People with some of your screen names here is crazy. It is just absolutely crazy, but that's all right. It is crazy, some of the screen names of people. But whatever the case may be, it's going to be an interesting season next year for the Eagles, but they better get an offensive coordinator. All right, I'm going to get to the worst comment that somebody in sports made. Well, the most I'll really clarify it. The most asinine comment somebody's made. But first, I want to tell you and thank again our presenting sponsor, Jeff Stillwell Financial Advisors. Knows his stuff. People out there say, "What can I? Things change so much. What can I do to kind of help secure my future?" Well, Jeff Stillwell can talk it over with you, help you out with it, give you some good ideas. He knows his stuff, and he's a really good guy and a sports fan. So you can talk about other things too, but you want to take care of your future. Jeff Stillwell Financial Advisors, 732-343-0813. All right. The Phillies. I'm looking, and Dave Dombrowski thought he had a deal, thought he was close to a deal. We had Dave, and we played a comment from him on the last show. No, there wasn't enough money. You misread the market. Then Rob Thompson said, "We're not running it back again with the same team." Well, you're not better, so maybe you're right. You're not running it back. The team is worse. Good team, but good enough to get to a World Series? I don't think so. All right, I'll get to that comment. But first, again, I want to talk about, and I actually enjoy talking to these people at Thomas Chevrolet, our newest partner, newest sponsor. I enjoy talking to them because they're all, well, there's a lot of sports fans everywhere, but they know their stuff. And I walk around the showroom, look at the vehicles, look outside at the vehicles. I'm really enjoying the Chevy that I didn't drive SUVs much. And then I said, now the rides are as comfortable, in my opinion, as a sedan. And I'm driving the Equinox, the sport model. Really nice vehicle. Thomas Chevrolet has a lot of nice vehicles, new and pre-owned. Great. Here's the combination you look at. Great people, family dealership, 38 years in the business with great people, straight deals, and obviously the price point of these cars in many cases is a lot less than foreign vehicles, and they're really good cars, whether it's a Corvette, Equinox, Silverado, Diverse, or Tahoe. And if you want a Corvette, Thomas Chevrolet is a certified Corvette specialist dealer. Thomas Chevrolet also has really cool guys in the service department, great service department, all makes and all models. So they'll do service on all makes and all models. Really tops in the tri-state area. Thomas Chevrolet, there's such a combination of really good things. Give you the address, 1263 West Baltimore Pike in Media. 1263 West Baltimore Pike in Media. Easy to find, right on Route 1. Baltimore Pike is Route 1. Or give them a call, 610 I suggest you go out there. You're not going to go out there in the snow, but they'll have it all cleaned up after the snow. But give them a call, 610-566-8600, 610-566-8600, or check them out on the internet. Check out all the vehicles, and you see you can get up to $14,000 savings available, 0% APR for up to 60 months available. All kinds of good things. Thomas Chevrolet on Baltimore Pike in Media. Also, another fine sponsor of the program, and they've been with us for a while, and they do a great job as well, and that would be Piazza Property Pros. 25 years of experience, no subcontracting. Do your front yard, make that look special. Do your backyard, make that look special. Whether it's in the backyard, you want a hot tub, you want a fire pit, you want pool maintenance, you want a pool. And I urge you, and this is what you've got to start thinking about. And I've tried to tell you, if you want Piazza Property Pros to build you a pool, you got to plan ahead, because they have people that may be ahead of you. So they got to go in order. They got to look at these things, and don't waste time. Get your decision made as quickly as possible. If you're thinking about it, just talk to Piazza Property Pros about it. Whether it's pool maintenance, landscaping, fencing, whatever it is for your front yard, your backyard, Piazza Property Pros can do it. More good people. I only deal with really good people, and there are more really, really good people. Give them a call. They'll work within your budget, 610-566-2608. You can schedule a free consultation at 610-566-2608, or check them out, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right. The most asinine comment that I've heard. This is beautiful. This is just, and good guy, but asinine and foolish. You don't have to be a houseman all the time. You don't have to be a houseman all the time. Ben Davis's comment, and I'll say on a local radio station, is so asinine and ridiculous. Hey, Ben, you'll keep your job. You don't have to kiss the Phillies' ass. You don't have to, be a houseman all the time. On the Mets signing of Bo Bichette, here was his comment. It's a joke. You're just going to go where you get the best deal for you and get the most money. Whether you stink or not, you're still going to get the most money possible. Then he goes on about the Mets. There's something about them. They give off the vibe that they're losers. All right, leave that up there, Joe. Let me deal with this. You're going to go where you get the best deal and get the most money. Did I miss something when people look at contracts? He's with a winning team. They have as much chance, and now they have a better chance than the Phillies of winning, I think. He's going to get $15 million more a year with the Mets than what the Phillies offered. And he's got opt-outs, and the Phillies won't give them. Okay, that's their decision. In the world that we live in right now in baseball, every big contract that was signed this offseason, players had an opt-out. That's just the way it is. And if he plays well, he's going to get market value. And in most cases, they're not going to move on. But opt-out is part of the deal. But are you kidding me? You're just going to get where you get the best deal and the most money, whether you stink or not. Well, Bo Bichette doesn't stink. The Phillies wanted him, Ben. Just to remind you, the Phillies wanted him. I see a comment up here. Ben's a Phillies stooge. I like Ben Davis too. I see comment, Jeremy. I like Ben Davis. What a dumb comment. How can you pass up that contract if you're Bichette? And he went to a winning team. He said at a news conference, I think what spurred this on, said it's nice to go to a winner. Well, if you're going to get that kind of money and you're going to go to a winning team. And the Mets are a winning team. You can't deny that, and they will be a winning team this year. Look at the deals they made in this last week. The deals they made in the last week, they made some really good. They got Bo Bichette, Luis Robert Jr. So they got an outfielder. Freddie Peralta got a really good pitcher in a trade, and they made a couple other deals. And the belief is they're not done yet, and the Phillies are done. It's just, Ben, you don't have to be a houseman all the time. You're going to keep your job. What you do on the air is good. You do good things on the air when you do the broadcast, whether it's the Phillies broadcast or the pre and post game shows. I mean, give me a break, Ben. Don't when he kissed her ass, he kissed both cheeks, not just one cheek. He kissed both cheeks. It's just so foolish, and he wasn't challenged. That's the other thing. He wasn't challenged. The Phillies. I see a comment here by Cosmo Man. Phillies lowballed him and then whined the Mets stole him. They did lowball him, and they didn't read the market. Ted, I hate the Mets, but they look like they made good moves. Yes, they did. And they take chances. How can you not take $15 million more? And the Phillies think they're cute by offering, I was told it was an 8-year contract. Why does a player want an 8-year contract with no opt-outs? Because the money changes. That's where Bryce Harper's agent made a mistake, but he wanted the largest contract, and he got the largest contract. Bryce Harper set for the next 5 lifetimes, but that's not good when they started saying, well, you should get an extension. No. When you get those long contracts, you don't get extensions, but that's just the way it works. Okay, Larry, the Mets always think they're going to be good. Well, they made decisions to try to make themselves better. And they had the ability to do that because they didn't box themselves in with 10 and 13-year contracts. It just, George says, Ben Davis, you would have taken this contract too. What people agree with Ben Davis? I don't see anybody on these comments. I see nobody. You can call in and we could talk about it. Or, there's a link on the chat line. Are most teams signing short-term contracts unlike the Phillies? No, they're giving them opt-outs. The Phillies won't do that, and they're going to have to do that. If you don't take $15 million more a year, then you're a fool. And that's what he got offered by the Mets. It's just okay, Tony. The Phillies got JT back. Too many years for Realmuto. Too many years. They didn't want to sign him to 3 years, but once they lost Bo Bichette, then they felt they had to do it for the fans, and they got boxed in. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. 2 years, he gets hurt. He's been hurt, 2 of the last 3 years? His offense has gone down. It's not a good thing. Phillies, Ben Davis, you're just going to go where you get the most money, best deal, and get the most money. I'm trying to think what part of that comment from Ben Davis made any sense. I can't find it. I can't find one thing he said that made sense. Come on, Ben. Just if you do a good job on the air, they're not going to move on from you, even if you don't kiss their ass. If you don't kiss the Phillies' ass, it's okay. You do a good job on the air. Don't worry about that. But that was only to make the Phillies feel good. Oh, they're going to like me because I'm going to defend them for this. Really? No, but they know you're just kissing their rear end. That's the problem. They know. I see Jeremy Van Sciver. Mets and Braves will bounce back. Phillies, he said, we have a lot of questions, especially with our rotation. That's the other thing. they didn't want to sign Suarez, and I understand that. He always gets hurt. And I get that part of it. Somebody wants to bring Bader back. Jeremy wants to bring Bader back. And they're not going to bring Bader back. I thought he already signed a deal, but he has not signed yet. Uh, it's just calling Dave con artist Dave. I don't think Dave Dombrowski is a con artist, but I don't think he's done a good job. When you talk about, okay, Ben, just look at it this way. Did Taijuan Walker come to the Phillies because he got the best deal? Absolutely. That's why he came to the Phillies. And it was a mistake by the Phillies, not for Taijuan Walker. Look at the Phillies rotation. Okay, so they got Sanchez. Is he going to be as good as last year? No. And Tom Russo said, you gave Ben Davis his lifetime 5 minutes of fame. No, I didn't. Ben's okay. He's a good guy, does a good job on the air, but that was kissing ass and kissing up to the Phillies, and that's wrong. You can't do that. You can't do it. And he should have been challenged, and he wasn't challenged. But I challenged him. But look at the rotation. So they got Sanchez, a good pitcher. Is he going to be as good as last year? I'm not sure of that. Then you got Luzardo as probably the number 2 starter. Then you got Aaron Nola, who's not a three starter anymore. Then you got Andrew Painter. As we pointed up on the last show, his ERA was well over 5 in the minor leagues. Did not have a good year. Could have a good year. We know he throws hard, but his location is not very good. He's had too many walks. He's your 4th starter. And before the injury, you would have said, okay, he could have been a 2 or a 3, but that's not the case now. And then you have your 5th starter because Wheeler's not going to be ready at the start of the season. They kind of tell you he is. I would have a hard time believing that. And who says he's going to be the same pitcher? And Wheeler's your 5th starter. Walker's your 5th starter. So once you get Wheeler back, Walker's out of the rotation. I get that. But it's not. Somebody said Larry Hawk music. 35-year-old catcher just signed for 3 years. Yeah, what's good about that, Tony? What's good? What's good about that? So it's kind of disappointing. All right. That the Phillies got to go through 162 games knowing I don't even think they're going to go to get to the World Series, let alone win the World Series. Now you have the trade deadline, but I don't know what they can do. It's just top 100 prospects are out. Aiden Miller's going to be good. They're third baseman, but people don't believe he's ready this year. Painter dropped to 25 from 4 for obvious reasons. It's just, but they have no money to sign anybody because they're so tapped out with all these other contracts. How many Phillies wins do you project for this year? Even if they win 90, it doesn't make any difference. They're not going. I don't think, I can't flatly say that. I don't think, my opinion, that the Phillies are going to the World Series with the team they have right now. And I don't know how much that can change. All right. Let me give you the question from what Marc Lawrence said. People need to wake up and boycott. I don't suggest boycotting going to the games because it's a nice summer night or a summer afternoon. So you like that. And that's fine, going to baseball. But if you're going to think that this team is a World Series team, I think you're making a mistake. They should sign Chris Bassett or Justin Verlander for 1 year. I don't know what Verlander's got left. I don't know what he's got left. He, obviously a great pitcher at one time. All right, the question: to win the limited edition limited edition Upper Deck card that was made especially for an event for charity back in 1991, and it's signed by Barkley. Barkley's one of the pictures up there. It's Schmidt, Barkley, Tocchet, and Reggie White. The question is, Marc Lawrence had 2 basketball games that he liked Saturday today. What were the 2 basketball teams that he suggested as plays? The 2 teams that he suggested as plays in today's college basketball. Uh, I'm laughing because I see a comment, which I'll get to in a second. So submit to my contact page at howardeskin.com by midnight Tuesday, January 27th. Watch the show on Wednesday, January 28th. I'm working on, and I think I've got an NFL head coach that's going to be on the show next Wednesday. I think I got him. I got it. I think I'm good, but I don't want to say the name until I know it's verified. But watch live on X, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Winner will be randomly chosen from all correct entries because there'd probably be more than one winner. All right. So here was the Fromber will probably end up with the Mets. That's another player out there. It's just whatever. I can't keep on complaining about it because we got a whole season to complain. But Ben, wake up. You're smarter than that, Ben. Ben Davis, you're smarter than that. All right. Also, I will post my picks probably later today for tomorrow's NFL games. And remember, your donations for those picks go to, and all kinds of adoptions going on at both places, Brandywine Valley, SPCA. Really good people. Providence Animal Center, really good people. They take care of the dogs and cats. You want to be a part of helping them. And if you want a doggy, or a cat, you can go to either one of those two places and find one of those pets a home. And your donations for the picks go to those two places, and knowing it's going to help the dogs and the cats. Somebody, Steve, in the comment here, Steve, uh, 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 this is what's great. And I see some people don't answer the question on the chat. Yeah, because you want people to go to the website. This is the comment from Stephen D'Angelo. Ben starred in The Wizard of Oz, and younger people may not have seen that movie. It was a great movie for kids, and it still comes up every once in a while. It really, even today, it's great for kids. Starred in the movie The Wizard of Oz, If I Only Had a Brain. So that was the Tin Man didn't have a brain. The lion didn't have courage. The scarecrow needed a heart. That's why they were going to the wizard. So, but Ben, I'll find you the Yellow Brick Road, and people that saw the movie will know what I'm talking about. Because if people are suggesting you need to go to the wizard, I'll find you the Yellow Brick Road to get there. Thanks for joining the show this morning. Wednesday, I'm hoping to have that head coach in the NFL. It's just, I don't think anybody gave out his picks, right? Nobody gave them out yet. Well, yeah, because we want people to go to the website so everybody has a chance. All right. Thanks to Joe Gangemi on the other side for the technical part. Thanks to Tony Anastasia for all the graphics and all the good stuff online and for the show. And thanks to you for joining the show. And we'll see you, I hope, on Wednesday. Hey, listen, I know it's going to snow. You got to deal with it. Don't get crazy. Be smart. Hopefully they clean up. Hopefully they clean up things and you get out there. One more comment. The important signing was getting Schwarber back. Yeah, but we knew they were going to get Schwarber back. We knew they were going to get Schwarber back. But that doesn't change the team. That doesn't change the team because, again, it's the same team. You needed to add. But anyway, thanks to everybody. Thanks for joining the show, and thanks for riding with the king on the Howard Eskin Show.